If the tea is ready, lads, a shot of the Jemmy in her and sit back, relax while I take a look at Aintree Festival kicking off on Thursday. On my own today, the Joe show was a no-show. Only cause Joe had some appointment came up, he had to go, so he'll be back soon. I'm sure he can bring his fancies to you on his daily tips videos over the next couple of days. So what I'm going to do is, lads, I'm just going to focus on the races I feel I have a little bit of an angle on, and we'll leave the rest alone. If anything else pops up later in the week, you can check out the daily videos that will be posted on the channel. Right, Grand National Weekend, we'll build up to that, we'll cover that last. Let's just touch on Thursday. We have the declarations in, and in the first race, an interesting runner for me is Ernie River. Nick Kent has definitely been a trainer on the up this year. He's had some really nice results, and this horse is only a 7-year-old. He's been improving well, and he beat a horse that I tipped up the other day that won, Beakstown. Beakstown was very impressive in air, and this horse beat him very well. He then went on to win a 3 or 4 runner race in Weatherby. Not the greatest of races, to be honest, but Champagne Supernova, that was well beaten, came out and won. Well, he came out and won not so good of a race as well, but I think it was a 2-runner race or something. But he is progressive. He's a likeable horse. He seems tough and genuine. And I think Ernie River at 5-1 might be a nice little play in the first race, and maybe an each way play against the field. We see how many runners are cleared. Now, there's only the 7, so I'd go maybe look at the win bet. It's great to see Keelan Woods getting the ride here in the Grade 1. Miller's Bank, definitely a decent horse as well. Can make the odd blunder though. Warlord solid, and the Nichols horse that was very good in Kempton, I think will be hard to beat for sure. But I'll just take maybe a little chance Ernie River can take on the favourite, at least give him a good race of it. Right, we're going to move on then to we'll skip the second race, lads. I see Pied Piper is very short at the head of the betting, has the form in the book, will take the beating, but I won't be backing him a 4-5. So I'm going to just move on to the Betway Bowl. You know, this is a race I'm really interested in. Protectorat, a horse I tipped up here last year to win the Grade 1 at the festival. Was the outsider of the field that day. He was as big as 14-1, 12s, 11s. Even on the day, he could have been backed at all those prices. And 2 from 2 at Aintree over fences. I thought his run in the Gold Cup makes him the horse to beat. And I think he'd be better suited at the Aintree. He did win very well here when he beat the horse that won the Gold Cup of Colin Tizards. Now, maybe he's a little over the hill, Native River, but this horse could only travel like the best horse in the race and smash the field very easily. So it is possible we haven't seen the best of Protectorat. I'd be very disappointed if Clan des Beaux or Kemboy or Royal Pagay, if Protectorat can't take care of these, he won't reach the limits that Connections kind of hope. But I do think Conflated is interesting. He can be a little quirky though. If he puts his best foot forward, he'll be definitely a player. But I'm going to take a chance that Protectorat will be the one progressing the most genuine. Will Gibby's running, and he's running might be just enough to win this race. Excuse me. Then we're going to take a look, lads. Have another little sip of whiskey, relax. Well, these are just winners I'm giving you now. Let's hope so. Right, very interesting race, lads. The Aintree Hurdle. Santa here, stepping up and trip. Really like the horse. Taking them a while to venture over this trip, because when he won his first time, I think it was his first time over hurdles, Keith Donoghue rode him. Maybe I might be wrong, but I think Keith Donoghue rode him in Ballinrobe, and he was behind the bridle, and 2 mile 2 around Ballinrobe. And then it was only when he got into the last straight, and it's a short running in Ballinrobe, he jumped the last kind of, I think, in second off the bridle. And then the last couple of furlongs, he really asserted and really showed stamina and class. And I feel like if there's a horse in this race that can maybe step up 7 pounds in the ratings over the trip, I think it's Sanaher. I think he's going to run a rock solid race. Now, Epatante, if she stays, she's going to be hard to beat getting the £7. But I do think Zanahiyr might improve £5 to £7 over this trip, and even maybe not first runner, but in time I think he will become, a very, very decent middle distance to staying distance horse. Only a 5-year-old, and he's battle hardened 5-year-old. I know it is hard for these horses to campaign the year after their juvenile career, but he's done nothing wrong. He did have a tough race in Cheltenham though. Brewing Up a Storm, definitely an interesting horse, but for me, I go with Zanahiyr in the Aintree hurdle, that he might just improve enough over this trip to get the win. Now, the 440, and this is an interesting handicap race for me. This is on Thursday. We are looking strongly at Time White here. I tipped him up in Cheltenham. He was a non-runner. I left him alone in Ascot the last day. I couldn't see any pace in the race. I didn't think it would be rent to suit him. He ended up in front too soon, travelled into the straight and got beat. Not worried about that. He's off the same mark. I really think with the likes of Global Citizen, Cheltenham Festival winning horse and jockey Keelan Woods from Athlone, definitely there'll be a good pace on here. They like to go forward. I think Ferrero Bamboo kind of picks up pieces, runs on when the races are over, but will come home strong if he can stay within touch. But I think the horse in here, lads, Time White, I think each way at 12 to 1, he's a cracking bet. I think Bryony Frost has all the pace in the world. I hope she sits back 5th, 6th, 7th, doesn't go near that front pace, just sits behind them. I think he'll travel well. He seems to jump very quick when he's in tight, which is, you need a horse that can get you out of trouble here. And I just think the race will set up lovely for her if she rides that patient, take your time race. I think they'll go hard, and I think he's handicapped very fairly, and I think he can take her into the race, and I think he represents massive value at 12 to 1 in what looks an open race on paper. But I think he's coming in here progressive and has plenty of gears, and has a big excuse the last day with no pace in the race and ending up in front. Right, just a quick word then on the last race on Thursday. Kateria, I don't know, Dan Skelton's mare by Cave Tara was very good in Huntington, came from a long way back, won very well, was weak in the market that day, so maybe she wasn't showing them a whole lot, but she stepped up markedly on course and looks the one to beat. I'm going to go a point win on her. Dan Skelton likes to bring good mares to Aintree, and I think this one could be decent. Right, let's move on where it gets a bit trickier for us, lads. Day 2 of the Aintree Festival, Merseyside. What a weekend for the Liverpool people, the Scousers. Crowds are back. You'll have everybody done up to the nines, enjoying themselves. Just having a bet, having a drink, having the laugh, and being pushed home in a wheelbarrow that night. But anyway, if this horse runs, which I hope he runs, in the first race, the 145, it's a handicap hurdle, right? Grade 3 over 2.5 miles. I really hope that Good Risk It All runs here. He is empty, he has got multiple entries, but if he runs in this handicap, I think he could nearly do it, lads. Another little touch of whiskey. He's up 7 or 10 pounds. He's up 10 pounds, but he really won very well. They dropped him in, and I think the tactics really suited. They went a strong pace, and I think if they ride him similar to that in Aintree, he's very unexposed, and I think he could take advantage of this mark. He's only a 6-year-old. As the weights stand at the minute, he's got 10 stone 13. If the top one comes out, which McFabulous is declared on Thursday, so he might be out. So they might go up 2 pounds. Hang in there if he runs, they'll only go up 2 pounds if Hang In There runs. So Good Risk It All for me on the first race on Friday. Definitely, if he runs in it, one of a few cracking bets, I think, of the festival. Right, we then move on to what is a very interesting race. I have no way of knowing, but this is the Novices Hurdle. It's a grade 1, lads. It's the second race on Friday, and it's over 2 miles. Now, I don't know if John Bond's going to run. He is drifted from 4-6 to 5-4. And I do see Ella Espella in here, but she's entered in the 2.5 mile as well. So, look, I think they might go to 2.5 with Ella Espella, but maybe if Jean Bond didn't run, they could go in this race. There is an interesting runner for me that might outrun his odds. He's around 14-1, is the Chris Gordon horse in this race. Not a race I have a massive opinion on. I will look at it more when decks come out, when I have my final declarations and I put it on my daily tips videos. Let's move on then to what is a cracking the Betway Mile Main Novices Chase 3 mile. Lads, if the top 3 in the betting show up here, what a race it'll be. Laham Preze, what a year he's had. Brave Man's Game, what a year he's had. A High Senior, nothing wrong at all. Just finished second to Brave Man's Game in Kempton, and then second in Cheltenham with an impressive win in Wetherby. Albeit, I do think the Mile May course might be, I know he won over hurdles here, he won a grade 1, but I don't know if the Mile May Chase course might suit him. It's tight. It's on the inside of the hurdles course. Fences come thick and fast. And he does jump a little right, and he can be a little clumsy on landing. Now, he has had another run in Cheltenham, so he's learning as he goes as well. He's just not the finished article and will be a much better horse next year on whatever he does this year. However, Laham Prez, Brave Man's Game, what a race. A High Senior, Gin Online, probably not good enough after being exposed the last day. My Drago looked to have her beat. Yeah, look, I'd nearly side, as much as I love Laham Prez, I'd nearly side with Brave Man's Game coming in here fresh. Been a long year for Laham Prez. I hope he doesn't run here, to be honest. I don't think he owes Connections anything. I think they should, maybe if they wanted, maybe show up later, go to Ireland, go to Punchestown or Fairyhouse. But I thought they might have just left him. He's done nothing wrong. He's had a busy campaign as well, and I think he's had 5, yeah. So I don't know, whatever. If he comes, he'll definitely take all the beating, but I'll just side with Brave Man's Game. That's in the 2:55, lads, on Friday. Right. The more I look at the 3:30, lads, the Marsh Chase, this is very, very interesting for me. If Fakir Dudaris shows up here, and the more I go through this race, I think he's an absolute good thing. I think he'll win, and I really do. And I know James Paddy, well, he's 11-8 favourite. Well, he could be a cracking price. Fumble the Sibyl is definitely a very good horse. Mostly campaigned over 2. Ran a couple of times over a bit further, but I just think Fakir will really hit the line over this trip at Aintree. He was a dynamite winner there last year. Most impressive winner of the festival last year. He romped home. And I just think, I go through the field, and I just can't see nothing touching him. I really can't. Captain Guinness, All Mankind, not over this trip. Saku Royal's a genuine, honest horse. Fumble the Sibyl is the one horse that if he stays could probably beat him. But I just think at 11-8, Fakir Dudaris is a very, very solid bet. That's in the 3:30 on Friday, the Marsh Chase. Right, I'll just a quick word on the Topham. I know Joe Value likes Mr. Coffee here. I'll give an each way a chance to Mac Totty, big price, and yeah, definitely might run well if it gets in off a lightweight. Right, I'm going to move on to the 4:40 on Friday, lads, because this is probably the best of the festival. Manila Kroner at 5-2. Really interesting horse, stepping back up the 3 mile, a grade 1. And if he runs here, I think he'll win. I think Walking on Air will hopefully run in the 2.5 mile race. Maybe Manila Kroner will go off 6-4 in this race, 5-4. He's 5-2 now. Obviously, we don't know if he's definitely running, but he did miss Cheltenham, so hopefully he comes here. I expect him to go off a short price favourite. I think Walking on Air, the second favourite, will go for the 2.5 mile. Bambridge is a solid horse. Definitely, he's improving. He's coming through the handicap ranks. Or he won a rated novice, then won a handicap. But I just think Manila Kroner's form arguably very unlucky in Leopardstown with a bad mistake. I think he'd have won. The horse that he would have beat finished second in Cheltenham. So I think Manila Crooner was a good winner of a maiden over 3. Then was going to win bar a bad mistake over 2-6. I think he's the only horse that could have caught a horse that got a freebie that day in Leopardstown. Look, he's the bet of the festival if he runs, Manila Crooner. Yeah, he's the bet of the meeting. Right, let's just move on, so lads, to Saturday. And I'm just going to touch on the national and one other race because declarations aren't in. I'll cover the rest of it on my daily tips. So we will just look at the Liverpool hurdle. Flooring Porter, absolutely dynamite in Cheltenham. So dangerous when he gets on the front end, cuts loose, jumped like a buck. He is quirky, but man, he's fucking good. He's quick. He's a fast stayer. He jumps slick and he wants to win as much as he runs around. The minute the jockey kicks him, he keeps going forward. Time Hill definitely ran a massive race in Cheltenham. Arguably might come on for the run as he hadn't had a run in a while. Champ, interesting, but disappointing his last couple. Yeah, no, I think Flooring Porter and Time Hill will fight this out. I really do. And maybe a little each way shout to the Devil's Coachman. Right, we're going to move on to the big one. The Grand National, and Jack Kennedy heading the betting. What a day it could be for the Curry man. Delta work, lowered the colours of the mighty Tiger Roll in Cheltenham. A little bit, I'm sure Connections felt a little bit sad they took him on with Delta, but I think because if the ground was quick, they mightn't have ran him. But when the ground changed, I think they stuck him in there for the fair. Tiger mightn't put his best foot forward. Any second now, definitely bounce back with a win. It has to be a big player, lads. But I'm going to take a little chance on 2 horses here. Lighthouse Poet each way and Enjoyed Allen. Lighthouse Poet won the Tiestes. Then he had a spin over hurdles, and now he's coming here. The trainer, Martin Brazel, has won it before with number 6, Valverde. So definitely an interesting horse. And I think clean round, he'll run a solid race. And another horse, Enjoyed Allen. How successful has the Irish National been for horses coming over? So for many years, horses that have won the Irish National have gone on to run well in Aintree or win an Aintree. Like I think Bobby Joe won both. Number 6, Valverde might have won both. You know, there's horses that have ran well in it. So it's a good stepping stone. And Enjoyed Allen has big handicap experience, running well in like Paddy Power Chases, Irish Nationals. So I want to give him a chance as well. So I'll take Enjoyed Allen and Lighthouse Poet against the field. And Snow Leopard is the big gamble of the race. If the ground came up soft, lads, you could go for her, and I probably would. If the ground came up, like if we had a torrential downfall, I'd probably I'd go with her. But for now, I'll stick with Lighthouse Poet and Enjoyed Allen. So yeah, 2 nice prices. Have a look at them. All right, lads, that is my preview of Aintree. All the winners are there for you. And hopefully we get off to a good start on Friday with Time White in the handicap. I think he's very, very interesting. Right, hope you enjoyed it. Just a Lone Ranger today, but we got it out to you anyway. Got out as much as I could. And keep tuning in this week for more coverage of the meeting a little bit closer to the time. And the Masters is kicking off. I'm going to be making another video on the Masters. Probably put it out tonight or tomorrow. I've done a couple of bets there today, and I may share them with you. So tune in for that. I was liking Will Salatoris. However, I have took 3 against the field. I know I'm a degenerate gambler. And check out that video later, and I'll show you what I've backed. All right, take care. Enjoy Liverpool. Enjoy the people of Merseyside and far and beyond. Going to be a cracking festival. And no doubt, thrills and spills, but champions made. All right, take care and God bless.